गुरुर्ब्रह्मा स्वयं साक्षात् सेव्यो वन्द्यो मुमुक्षुभिः नोद्वेजनीय एवायम् तत्त्वज्ञेन विवेकिना।
Ladies and gentlemen, organizers of this single Dr. Farley and his family members, and everyone here, very good evening to you. This meeting was not scheduled, it's not part of my program when we came over to this place. I have been on a very casual, personal tour, not meant for delivering lectures. Dr. Farley, a very well-known scholar and writer, and a very, very great interpreter of Hindu culture to the West. In fact, he is the true Guru. I say this without any exaggeration, for the simple fact I know what he has written. It shows how deep and how varied his knowledge of Vedic culture and Hinduism, as we call it today, is. I have had the pleasure of discussing him with him many yogic and spiritual matters. The very kind words that he spoke about me, I am really grateful to him. I would be grateful to God if at least half of them come true. I have visited the United States once earlier in 1997 and hoped that I would not be able to come. It just happened. Most of the things that take place in our day-to-day life are not all planned. We don't believe in fate, we believe in destiny. An event has some logical, sequential events, cause behind it. What happens as a result of karma, earlier mechanism of actions, is called destiny. Fate is something that is not explainable. So, belief in fate is fatalism. Destiny is a theory, a science, and an excellent logic that has been built up by eminent, not only scholars, but tapasvins. The revelation of the secret of karma is not the result of any logical thinking, but meditation, tapas. All knowledge in the past in India has been acquired not from any school or a course of learning or teachers. The knowledge of ancient India has its origin in meditation, tapas. Tapas means quest. There ought to be a question to start with. One would not like to take an answer from any logical interpretation of knowledge of someone else, but one would investigate within himself in total silence of mind. But the silent mind is the most capable instrument to investigate truths which are otherwise not possible to know. That has given us a sequential development of thought, practice, philosophy, a set of beliefs, codes of conduct, and ultimately it has taken today the shape of the name and shape of what we call Hinduism. Today, in India, we have the entire gamut of Hindu activity, meditation to worship to bhajan sankirtan. It is an excellent ladder, starting with a layman's capability being utilized, turned into bhakti, turned into devotional attitude, just belief in God without demanding any proof of it. Belief in God should not confer any kind of logical interpretation, should not depend on any experience, it ought not to depend on somebody's certification. Every Hindu follows the path of bhakti merely on the strength of the tradition. One does not have to be introduced to this religion if tradition is kept up. We are living in a changing world, a fast changing world. The acceleration of events in time is all-time high in the last about 150 years. Science was pacing slow in the medieval times. It was dead slow long before that. Today it has assumed great speed and acceleration. Discoveries about this universe around us, development of sciences and technology, most of which is used to make our life much more physically comfortable, not necessarily mentally. This contribution of these advanced sciences in all fields still leaves the gap, the void in the internal consciousness of man. It is neither enriched or become more knowledgeable, not become more peaceful or contented or satisfied. We still remain where we are, where we were 2000 years ago, in spite of the science and technology, as human beings. We are surrounded by technological marvels, like flying to the moon, walking on the moon, coming back to report what they have experienced. And the experiences are analyzed to find out what is there on the moon. This is an example. We also have calculations of the lunar movements in the ancient Hindu astronomy. All planets were given a status of divinity, worshipped, pleased, appeased, to make our life much more meaningful and comfortable. We believe in fighting against the past karma to make it more pleasant, useful and progressive. The fundamental theory of karma is this: if a man in the past has committed only sin, he would not be born as a human being. He would be either an animal or something else. And if he had committed only pure merit, punyam, he would be in the higher worlds. But only when the past karma is consisting of good and bad karma, sin and merit, then he would be a human being. It's a mixture. The proportions may differ from one to one. The entire direction of Hinduism is to promote one's merit and fight the demerit or the karma, the bad karma. All ritualism, all conduct rules, all moral values are directed to make the human life on this planet much more comfortable, agreeable, more peaceful, and then progressive. That has been the goal of our traditions. There is an enormous variety in Hinduism, whether it is the names of gods or the mantras, methods of worship, approach to God in various forms. And the Hinduism today has its ancient roots in it, right from the Vedic revelations to the latest teachings of gurus and SathGuru sons. The whole thing is a great phenomenon. It is difficult to define it in the normal language that we use to define any other religion. A religion is usually defined as one book, one God, and one tradition. In that sense, Hinduism is not something that fits into a definition of a religion. It's a phenomenon. It's an ever-growing, ever-changing, but with an unchangeable basis. Basis never changes. It adapts itself to times and climes, various circumstances of human society, encountering in many circumstances an opposition, an approval, a criticism, a condemnation, yet it survives. The strength of a concept lies in its survival. That is the very proof of its merit, strength, adaptability. This is a temple. What's the big difference between a temple and a church and a mosque? Church and a mosque are houses of prayer. Temple is a house of worship. That's a basic difference. We install God, invite God, installation of the God with Vedic ceremonies, and then we make His presence a reality. We worship Him, we assume that He is there. We offer what we like to offer, what we have to offer, and seek the blessing, realization of desires, or relief from the difficulties. Or if the man is somewhat more advanced, he would be a spiritual seeker in the very same God. In the gamut, in the very variety of gods and goddesses that we worship, every form has its relevance to the human life, and a particular reference to a particular need of the human life. When we are threatened by enemies, we seek Durga, Maya for protection. When we have an enemy, we seek victory from Subramanya. Then where there are obstacles in our life, we go to Ganesh. When we need wealth, we worship Lakshmi. When we seek education, we worship Saraswati, and so on and so on. This is comparable to the government of a country. Every purpose of the public is met by a particular department. The whole thing is called government. In fact, there is nothing like a government, it is only a word. It exists only in variety, in departments, in ranks, officials, top to bottom, the director general, down to the common man and the servant in the street. All put together is government. Therefore, we are believers in one God, with a million functions, million forms, million names, and million mantras. In this sense, it has reached the final shape long ago, even before Buddha. That's about 2,500 years now. It developed itself into a ritualistic form, externally, devotional form when heart is concerned, analytical form when mind is concerned, Vedanta and things like that, philosophies. And it allowed every man to have his own school of thought, his comprehension, his approach to this reality in his own way, but it does fit into the entire large picture. Somewhere he has his own place. No one is excluded. That's the greatness of this religion. When we call ourselves Hindus, the first requirement is to accept all forms of the God as the God. All gods combine with the God, the God. God is a very general name. It could be God, Goddess. Even when we worship Krishna, it is Balakrishna, it is Govinda Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Guru Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Murali Krishna. So many forms. So various functions of the same God are also worshipped differently. So the variety is endless, phenomenal. To understand this, one must have a prepared mind. There, a criticism is offered against Hinduism from many sources. In fact, we had as many as 14 darshanas. A darshana is a philosophy, a theory that explains the universe, creation, the soul and the God, the goal of the soul, the method of reaching the goal, and things like that. Then it's called a darshana. Out of the 14 darshanas, long ago, which came into existence, even by the time Mahabharata was, 3,000 years before Christ. Darshanas were there. They were divided into two categories. One is Nastika Darshan, one is Astika Darshan. Nastik is a word which today denotes disbelief in God. That was not the meaning in those days. One who did not accept the authority of the Veda is a Nastik, although he worships the God. Such darshanas were 7 in number. And the other 7 took the authority from the Veda. Veda is the ultimate authority. Any doubt, any question has to be tested on the authority of the Veda. The Veda approves it, it is a truth, it's accepted. That is Vedic authority and non-Vedic authority. That means even today, those so-called Nastik darshanas, they are highly respected in the Hindu society. They are not rejected because it's a genuine investigation into the truth without taking help from the word of the Veda. And those who investigated were no ordinary men. They are keenly interested in the welfare of mankind. They search for their own knowledge and acquired it and stated it. Gautama, for example, who is regarded as a great rishi by all of us, is one of the authors in this. Then came Jainism and Buddhism. In addition to the 14 darshanas, today we have religions galore. Every town, every guru may be saying something new. It is definitely new to him, perhaps new to the listeners. But if you can investigate the origin of it, it will be found somewhere to be having its origin in the ancient thought. In that sense, there can nothing that can be added to this phenomenon of Hindu knowledge. And all of us, whatever be the God that any one of us is individually pursuing, the general name Hindu covers us, the school of thought, be anything. And then the next word that we use is Sanatana Dharma. What is this Sanatana Dharma? Dharma is something that regulates our actions, our beliefs, and our pursuit of things, material and spiritual. This Dharma is long ago established itself so firmly. Then we take the example of Sri Ram. Why do we worship him? It is, we are worshipping him. Valmiki also adored him, admired him. The contemporary society of Sri Ram treated him as if he was God, not as God. Why was he treated and equated almost with God? It is the simple reason is that he followed this Sanatana Dharma. He did not perform miracles. Miracles take place, no one performs them. They take place. Depends on the contact that one man has with God, his belief. Miracles do take place. Rama is not endowed with any capability of performing miracles. He lived like a human being, like a good son to a respected father, a good brother to his younger brothers, and an ideal husband to his wife, and an ideal enemy to his enemy. The ideology and propriety of behavior and outlook has always been one and the same in his lifetime. He did not yield to any pressure, any influence, or any temptation. When he had to leave Ayodhya, at the behest and on the instructions of his unwilling father, he obeyed him without a protest. And on the other hand, Dasharatha wanted him to flout his instructions, establish his right over the throne, occupied by force if he could. He would have been pleased. Father would have been pleased because he was supposed to give him an order to go to the forest. It was not a willing order. But yet, Rama went to the forest, not because his father ordered him, that is, because the promise given by his father to his stepmother, that had to be honored. Otherwise, the ill repute would be going to his father and the clan, the whole family. This is Dharma. This is one example of Dharma. And today we analyze most of the events in Ramayana and try to look at them from our knowledge of Dharma as we have it today. And try to measure the veracity, measure the acceptability of those actions from our knowledge of Dharma and judgment today. No, it in fact needs a thorough knowledge of Sanatana Dharma, what it was at that time, what it is at any time in future. With that knowledge alone, we will be able to judge some actions of Rama. That is Sanatana Dharma. So we have two mainstreams in the Hindu culture. One is the religion, starting with the Vedic knowledge, ending in bhakti and worship of any god by anyone. The parallel stream is the darshanas, and the third parallel mainstream is Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. So it consists of three main streams, and they have to be together when we study. We have to have a combined approach of these three. What is Sanatana Dharma? What are these darshanas? What is religion? Starting from Vedas. It needs an open-minded approach, help of scholars like this, Dr. Frame. I am extremely proud to have known him. It gives him immense satisfaction to realize what it has taken him to know so thoroughly about all the aspects of this great religion. Oh, this is the scheme. One has to understand Sanatana Dharma, propriety of action and thought, under all conditions, whether it is love or war. The Western culture sometimes says everything is right in love and war. It is not so in the Sanatana Dharma. In enmity there is a dharma, there is a propriety of rules. In love it is so. It is bound by certain dharma. One is not free to transgress this and try to justify it. One would, even in the war, in Mahabharata war, dharma ruled both sides. There were transgressions, there were commissions and omissions. People faced the result of it. Many learned men committed the defaulters in respect of dharma. Bhishmacharya or Dronacharya, they could not be acquitted under the law of Sanatana Dharma. They served the wrong king, shared his sins, and faced the punishment willingly and happily in the battlefield. They chose to fight on behalf of Kauravas so that they would be killed in the battlefield honorably. It was their choice. The awareness of Sanatana Dharma was so good, so high. They never tried to defend themselves. Defending the criminal was not necessary at all. The criminal himself, in a moment of remorse, was seeking punishment at that time. That was a great culture. Their belief is, if I don't get clean by a punishment for my sins on the earth, my afterlife is hell. So the belief in the afterlife is the main theme. That is the pole star that gives us a direction in life. Afterlife has been believed in, even in the Egyptian pharaohs' times, in Christianity, in Islam. But afterlife did not there consist of several levels. It is so in Hinduism. One would be able to reach Swarga, but you would have to come back to this earth. Kshine punya mate loke vichanti. The God says, yes, it's a temporary elevation to Swarga. All the pleasures of your desires would be fulfilled, no doubt. But what then happens? You will become again a human being, only to be returned there. That is not the highest world. Afterlife consisted of several levels. Swarga, Gandharva-loka, Tapo-loka, Jana-loka, Brahma-loka, Vishnu-loka, things like that. The ultimate goal of the Hindu is never to return to this earth. That's the ultimate goal that all of us have, if not in mind, in the subconscious. It's natural for the Hindu to have this desire. All worship, all practices, yoga, Vedanta, or bhakti, or in whatever be the path, the ultimate goal is this. In this ancient Sanatana Dharma is in a large perspective. Buddhism has found out a place for itself. The basic tenets of the ancient Sanatana Dharma or Vedic Dharma are not different. They have not been transgressed by Buddhism. The basic law is, the truth is, the soul is bound into the earth by ignorance. He has to attain moksha. What's the path? Is it Vedic ritualism, yoga or bhakti? No, ahimsa. The path prescribed may be new, but the goal and the entire theory is the ancient thought itself. There's nothing new added. Jainism also believes in ahimsa as the path to realization, to moksha. About the definition of moksha, there may be differences, but goal is one and the same. Ekam sat vigraha bodha. There's only one truth. The learned men speak about it in different languages. That has been the case. I am not addressing myself to any particular subject. I wanted only to share some of my ideas, thoughts with you. Out of the great pleasure that I have derived in meeting you all here, I feel really proud that there is a Hindu society organizing itself in many places in this great country, large country. Living with them, with that culture, in peace, in friendship, and in prosperity. Not forgetting our own culture and religion. It is certainly a feat to do so. It requires courage, it requires commitment, faith in the tradition. All these are virtues that make us survive in any different culture or country, language. We remain what we are, wherever we go. There lies the strength of the Hinduism. Here, I feel all gods, that is Hinduism. It's not a temple devoted either to Vishnu or Shiva. And then some Shaivite clan install Shiva, and some Vaishnavite Swamiji comes, condemns it. It is happening in this country. It is not Hinduism. It's a fall from the great standards of Hinduism. One who is able to accept God in any form is a true Hindu. In that sense, we can accommodate these schools of thought like Christianity or even Islam. But the basic tenet is living in peace. And the ultimate need of the hour globally is peaceful coexistence without conflict. Then one does not have to accept the other religion. One does not have to agree with any other religion. You can disagree but live in peace. Peaceful coexistence is the need of the hour. And I don't think any other religion can contribute greatly than Hinduism to this need of the hour. We have a great responsibility to our own motherland, to our culture and religion and our beliefs, and try to spread them as acceptable concepts to any religion, anyone, any human being. We, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, we believe in all the human beings should be enjoying their life in peace. Their peaceful coexistence is the need of the hour. If we can try to agree with others, like a common agenda between all religions, believe in God, believe in human values, believe in the independence of every human being to follow his own school of thought, his belief. That independence of every human being has to be respected. That has been respected by Hinduism. That great merit has to be remembered, spread among the friends. People have to be reminded about this great concept. And we do not disagree with anyone. We want others not to agree with us, but respect us, our independence. We know how to agree with anyone, even the Nastic disbeliever who doesn't believe in God. Yes, such a theory exists in all of the darshanas. The Sankhya Darshana says, doesn't speak of God at all. It speaks the ultimate truth in so many sentences, and yet it prescribes moksha and jnana. But by an analysis of this creation, what does it consist of? What is the creation made up of? Was there a creator? It doesn't answer the question. God may be there, may not be there. That's not our concern. Yet your goal is moksha. Attain it by understanding the universe, the creation, the world around you. We have not understood the world itself so far. The world means the world map consists only of the earth. Creation consists of the whole star. And we are yet to understand the earth itself. Protect it, honor it. Then we can proceed to understand the creation, analyze it. These things have been very clearly defined and analyzed, presented logically in Sankhya Shastra. And then the Yoga Shastra came into being. Parallel with it, Yoga Shastra took the theories of Sankhya and added God to it. Therefore, Yoga is known as the Seshvara Sankhya. Sankhya plus God is Yoga. Like this, independence of thought has been permitted and honored in this country. It's not difficult for us to accommodate any other school. So these are the great qualities and traditions of Hinduism. It needs study, knowledge. Their mind is troubled by questions and doubts, that it needs more study, or silently following the tradition as we have inherited that, and follow the path of my ancestors without analysis, without trying to justify or condemn anything. A simple following the tradition would be quite safe, quite pleasant. That is more than enough. Hinduism has never been allowed to spread by preaching and propaganda. Buddhism is part of Hinduism only according to, because it consists of the same concept of bandhan and moksha. The path is different. People were not sent as missionaries outside. Outsiders came to learn about that. They took it. They invited the missionaries to come and preach and teach. That's the method. India has never been an aggressor. It never invaded any other country, physically, culturally or religiously. It has been the most invaded country that it survives. That there lies its strength, its ability to accommodate. One day the enemy is absorbed into our society. The culture is so wide and deep, consists of such a great variety that you find himself at home with this great culture in one of the corners. That has happened. It is high time that we asserted ourselves against any criticism and try to answer them with certain amount of knowledge, referring them to the scriptures that we have. And we are free not to believe in God, but yet we are bound by Sanatana Dharma. That is the greatness of Hinduism. I have been only sharing a few thoughts of mine with you. I have not come here with any particular subject to expatiate. It is my great pleasure and unexpected treat that I have in meeting you all here. I thank you all once again and again for the warm feeling that I have received from you, and particularly Dr. Frawley. I am thankful to him for the kind words that he spoke about me. In fact, he is closer to you. I don't find any other guru as a more competent person than Dr. Frawley to tell you about Hinduism. I am sure you will take advantage of his proximity to you and read his interpretations in depth so that when we face some kind of a critic, we will be able to give a proper reply. Thank you all very much, again and again.